Cole likes to boast. Ant Jordan likes to roast. Sir Charles keeps it crisp. Q's the butter to the toast. Now it's time to keep it real. Competition not close. One stop for debating. Reality shows and they skits be the mo. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. I'll be damn. Podcast going ham. I'll be damn.
Yo, welcome back to I'll Be Damn, the LA edition, guys. Welcome. I have my host, Nick Nicole, and we have Danae Maury. How are you doing today?
What's going on? Danae Marie. You gotta start over.
Marie.
Yep.
Okay.
Say Maury?
Maury.
Yeah.
Not the Maury show.
Oh,
Might be in a
Who's daddy?
row.
Who's
Oh,
Might
okay.
be in a row.
Oh, okay. Marie, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Miss Marie.
You're good.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. We are actually want to speak with you today on, Black women empowerment as far as Black businesses and actually being a female Black entrepreneur. I know it's a struggle, in that category. So you are actually thriving in that category. So we want to know what are you doing, what businesses do you have, and how can we get in contact with you?
So I'm in the beauty industry. Initially I've been in the beauty industry. I was doing commercials and modeling.
Okay.
But I wanted to kind of take control of my own finances and create my own brand, be my own boss. So I went to esthetician school, got my esthetician license, and then I was doing hands-on services. But currently my main focus for the brand is I have a training academy.
Okay.
And so we primarily focus on cosmetic teeth whitening and a service called Tooth Gyms. So I've trained now over 300 people, excuse me. And I basically just train them. But yeah, so I've trained over 300 people out of the country and then also just in the States on how to do these niche services that I offer for my brand. So.
How long have you been in business?
So I started JSB Beauty in 2016. So since 2016.
And so, have you seen any major struggles as far as getting the business going up? Has there been problems? Have you been a Black woman trying to get those businesses?
I mean, I think in general, there's always going to be struggles with entrepreneurship because you go from having maybe a 9-to-5 job,
Right.
and you have an income that is paid bi-weekly or however you get paid, versus being an entrepreneur is you might have weeks, I've had weeks where I made $100, and I've had weeks where I made $10,000. So I think there's there's always going to be a struggle there financially. I just think that if you just stay consistent with your marketing, your branding, and then offering a good service, I think you'll be able to overcome those issues.
All right. So, how many different businesses is it again?
So initially I have JSB Beauty, which is my umbrella company.
Okay.
So I've managed to have JSB Beauty run itself on its own. So I kind of got bored essentially, and I was trying to figure out how I can monetize my brand. So I just recently expanded to JSB Skin.
Okay.
So JSB Skin is a cosmetic skin line. And I have a liquid black soap cleanser. I have a beard oil kit for men. I have
you
an
stepped over
active
to the
oil.
men's side.
Yeah, I
Okay.
need everybody. I gotta get the money from everyone.
Okay.
Yeah, so JSB Skin is more of my everyday product for your everyday consumer.
Okay.
JSB Beauty is more so for your entrepreneur who wants to start their own brand and build their own business in the beauty industry. So I felt like I needed something for your everyday consumer.
Okay.
So that's what JSB Skin is for.
Perfect. I love to hear that. To see different Black-owned businesses grow, especially as females.
Yeah.
Get to see them grow and move in different steps in a positive way. I want to really know, far as the step to take. A lot of people want to start businesses, run businesses, but they don't know the correct steps to take.
So that's funny that you asked me that. I actually just launched a I was initially calling it Boss Babe 101, but as my brand is expanding, I actually am now catering to men as well. So I've also trained a lot of men that have their own barber shop and they want to offer cosmetic teeth whitening in their actual shop. So I'm kind of learning how to cross over to that demographic as well. So I just launched actually a Boss 101 course, which teaches 7 to 8 fundamentals on how to build your brand from scratch. I have a lot of people always DMing me or emailing me asking me questions oh, how did you initially get started? And I think that people just see someone doing something and they think it's easy. Oh, okay, bet. She's doing it. It looks like she makes money. I could do it too.
Right.
But but there's just so much tedious paperwork that goes behind it as well. So, I mean, even simple things like a domain name, a DBA, an LLC, a business bank account, an EIN, Duns and Bradstreet. You know, there's just like a lot of little things that people don't really know about.
That's another thing I want to get to. Like, what is the first step that needs to be taken to start a business? Like,
So depending, you mean in the beauty industry
Right.
specifically? So I think depending on what services you want to offer, I think it's very imperative for you to figure out like what's required in your state. Like out here in California, and like there was one point where you could do, I think, microblading and you didn't need a license. You just had to obtain a bloodborne pathogen certification, which you can take from like Red Cross for like $15.
right.
And then if you want to do lashes, you actually have to go and get your esthetician license. So it's like,
That don't even make
how does that
sense.
work? Because microblading is actually putting a blade to someone's
Right.
face. But I think initially it's just kind of figuring out what's required in your state to make sure that you have, your ass covered, I guess.
Right. Is it cost efficient? Like,
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what's required. So like for me, I didn't want to be the boss that is not able to be hands-on. I don't like going to an establishment and the owner and the boss is there, but they can't legally touch you because they don't have a license or they don't have insurance. So they have to wait for all their employees. I want to be hands-on. I want to be able to get my celebrity clients. I want to be able to, get out there and get in the mud too.
Right.
So I decided to go to esthetician school to get my esthetician license. So I mean,
So what's your goal to be boss, to be hands-on, or to be able to teach? Was that your goal?
So initially, it was more so to have a storefront. I had like a little suite like in the valley. So initially it was just I was gonna offer services.
Okay.
And then I quickly realized after, a couple years and doing my due diligence and creating like relationships with vendors, I was getting all these inquiries like, do you train, do you train, do you train? So I'm not like super, super money hungry. I didn't want to just say yeah and just take people's money without actually doing the footwork.
Right.
So once I finished my license, I got my business insurance, took care of, dotted all my I's, crossed all my T's. Then I felt like I was ready to now provide courses. And honestly, like, that's just where my bag is at. Like,
Right.
I personally don't want to do services anymore.
so it's about training people.
Now it's about, I'm an educator. Like now I'm literally, like I have an online training program that I created. I went in the studio setting, I recorded all this pre-recorded content because so initially I was doing it like Zoom calls. And my training, depending on what course you take, is gonna take you about 5 to 6 hours.
Right.
So if I'm training, I don't know, 2 people a day, 3 people a day, I was sitting in front of Zoom
All day.
for hours. And I was also being very repetitive. So it's essentially a one-man show. I mean, I have like an assistant and stuff like that, but I like to be very hands-on. So I was like, I have to monetize my time and figure out how I can give everyone the same attention.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna do pre-recorded content. So
get to
now
that
it's like
bag.
an online training program. So you go online, you pick the course you want, you enroll in the course, you're gonna get a welcome letter, it's gonna explain to you all the steps, whatever you need.
You got business.
Yeah, of course, you know how I do it. If I'm gonna do it, it gotta be done right.
Okay.
And then, we put all the kits together depending on what course you get your product, and then as soon as your product touches down, you get login credentials. So then you just complete the online training course. So depending on how long it takes you, it's broken up into different module sections, and there's like a quiz and stuff like that you have to take.
So pretty much you're saying the way to really get to the bag is to learn the product, learn the business, and then become an educator.
Well, learn your audience.
Yeah, I would think, learn your audience and then educate for sure. Because so to piggyback off that, I have people that I've trained and like within a month, they're like, hey, like, do you offer a course that, will teach me how to train people? And I'm like, baby girl, you've been doing this for 1 month.
Right.
Like, have you even went through the process? And
Right.
it's kind of insulting because I've taken a lot of time to create training manuals, step-by-step guides. Like you have a full step-by-step. You have everything that you need to successfully get started to start your business and run it successfully.
Right.
And so it's like I also take offense to it because I'm like, I don't want you to use my training material that I provided to you to train someone else.
Right.
So, there's that.
Have you had some like the crazy type of clients you dealt with that's been like outrageous? You like, I'll never deal with these type of people again. Have you had that?
Yeah, no, I have absolutely, but I mean, I just send people their money back. Like I'm not even that pressed. Like, you know, like I feel like you're gonna be confrontational or you're gonna stress me out and cause me problems, like you can have a refund. Because everything, I think because I take the time to really make sure that everything is mapped out.
Right.
Like all the information is provided on the website. There's FAQs, you get a welcome letter, there's links, there's automated emails that are sent to you. And so a lot of times I realize people don't read. People just don't like to read, you know? So they'll ask me little questions and it's just like, you know, when is my order gonna be shipped out? It's like if you read the welcome letter in its entirety, it explains that it's 7 to 10 business days, you know? So then if you keep DMing me,
Right.
I feel like you're gonna be issue. I
So
would
do
just refund
you got something, can you pinpoint a certain situation you would just like, hell no, never will do it again. This shit.
Chargebacks. People have tried to run some scams on me. There's some scammers, little scammers out here.
Chargeback, explain that.
So they'll purchase a course, and then I will send them their kit, and I pay the additional money to have a signature required.
And you say kit, which business is this?
This is for JSB Beauty. So let's say you signed up and you wanted to learn cosmetic teeth whitening.
Okay.
So within the cosmetic teeth whitening, I'm gonna prepare the kit for you and I'm gonna ship it to you. So you're gonna have, I don't know, let's say 20, it's gonna be good for your first 20 to 30 clients. So you're gonna have everything you need. You get a teeth whitening line, you're gonna get a shade guide, you're gonna get, I private label everything. So you're gonna get JSB Beauty teeth whitening light, you're gonna get a JSB Beauty teeth whitening gel, you're gonna get a dental bib, everything is branded. So a lot of times I feel like I ran into some little scammers. Like they try to pull a fast one on me, like they never received the kit, even though it says signature required. So they call their bank, oh, I never received the kit, or you know, but stuff like that. I feel like I'm not even worried. Honestly, I'm so blessed. So I'm just like, you need it clearly. If you want to do a chargeback for $1,400, then you got it.
Right.
You know, I'm not gonna like, I'm not even about to sit here and stress about it.
Have you had a personal encounter though? Have you ever had like that bad?
In person?
Yeah, that bad personal encounter where you just like, I didn't know people was like this, or I didn't know how
We
to
go
deal
back
with
to
people.
you doing the hands
Services.
Yeah.
Not really, honestly, no. I haven't had any like in-person like encounter interaction with people. No, I've had like, when I was actually doing services, I had people like hopping on flights from the Bay Area to come to see me just to get their teeth whitened. Like,
Oh,
it
excuse
was
me,
all love.
boss.
Yeah, it was all love. Like I never had really, I don't really have like beef, like issues like that. Especially in my business, I run it like it's a business. You know, I don't really have time to play like those little games.
But since we know about the businesswoman, tell me about you personally. What, you know what I'm saying? What's going on in your personal life?
Oh, personal
Yeah,
life.
you're
Did we
single.
discuss this? Did we say that this was gonna be allowed?
Yeah, it's
Oh.
definitely allowed.
Am I single?
Yeah, you dating anybody, single, or you just, you know, looking, you got some
I'm not
resumes
looking.
ready, what you got?
No, I'm not looking. I think right now, honestly, I'm focused on self-awareness and self-growth. I feel like that's the same answer.
That was the most political answer, the safest answer you could possibly get. I don't know
Yeah,
what
because if somebody watches this, I don't need nobody getting offended. So I'm worried about self-awareness.
everybody can get offended. This is a sensitive ass world.
Yeah,
I get offended by anything you do.
that is very
You
true.
know, you gotta keep it all the way above. You know, you never just worried about self.
John actually, yep, self in my business.
Okay, so you are single.
Yeah, technically I'm single.
Oh.
Not yet, I'm single.
Technically.
I'm single.
What that?
I mean, I'm single, yeah.
Nah. Well, technically, let's dive into the technical part.
No, I'm single.
Nah, hell no.
I mean, okay, I live in LA. I feel like it's very difficult. Well, I'm from here, so
Okay.
it's okay for me. But I feel like it is difficult to date here in LA. It's just, especially this generation, like it's just kind of OD.
What's difficult about it?
The dating, I don't even know if like, just like you and your wife. I love you guys' relationship that you have.
Thank you.
I think it's so great.
Yeah.
I think it's so great. It's so amazing, and I just feel like people are very self-serving. You know, a lot of people look out for themselves, which I guess you come here, you're trying to finesse, you're trying to get to a bag. It's always about what you're gonna get from a nigga or what's the female gonna do for you. It's just kind of like, it's just kind of annoying.
Yeah.
Is that mentality developed once you get here, or are people just coming here with that mentality?
I honestly think it's developed once you get here because I have, you know, friends that are not from here. I don't even know. So yeah, I have some friends that are not from here, and he was in a relationship with young lady, and he had like given her like a ring and all this stuff. And they came here, and he got a taste of the lady. He was outside, and next thing you know, it was like, I don't want to be with her no more. Like, they were like super religious. All that went out the window. He was outside.
Oh, so he got a little taste of that nectar, and he knew what to do with it.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I feel like he brought his wholesome, sweet, beautiful girl here, and then it's LA. There's a lot of bad females out here. So.
There's a lot of bad vibes too. It's a lot
Exactly.
There's a lot of fakeness going on.
Exactly. So I feel like you just have to be, you know, you have to protect your energy and be careful. So.
Yeah, it seems like it's very hard out here to like be able to see the type of person that you're dealing with because people, it's like everybody out here is an actor or actress.
They think that there's
like
somebody,
in real life.
And then social media doesn't help because you can look at somebody's social media and you think they up, you think they lit, like ooh,
right. And it's a stimulus check you living on.
A stimulus check.
You know, he think he's
ED.
boss.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of PPP loan bosses like
Man, from they up. But I feel like even with that, I'm like, listen, if you're gonna use it and to actually like do something for your business or
Right.
you know, I think that that's smart. But everyone has to run into Rodeo Drive to get a little bag or
that
something.
shit's so overpriced.
That's
Oh
just
my god.
overpriced, and it's like that mindset is just crazy.
Right. Every dude out here wearing outfits looking like a football player with shoulder pads on and
Socks dirty as hell.
Yeah.
Smelling like weed, butt showing. It's just like, what's going on here?
yeah, y'all, and then what's up with the homeless out here? That's crazy.
The homeless rate out here is crazy. Yeah, we definitely have to do something about that. I actually heard that I think it's in Texas or in some parts like they don't really allow that. Like they will like remove you from the street.
It's certain areas in Texas that you just can't do that. I mean, downtown Dallas and things like that, you'll be able to do that. But like where we at in Frisco.
No, they're starting to clear it up.
Yeah, but they allowed it for us a while. But it's like you go on like certain parts of Plano or Frisco or stuff like that. That is not going to happen. Like they're not even gonna let you sit out there and do that. You know, so I mean it's a gift and a curse. Because some people like out here we hear about the homeless people out here making money, really, and like.
In what way? Like with the signs? Holding
No.
signs?
Full-time job.
No.
Oh, I'm like, what are you
No, like they
referring to?
haven't. The thing is, their money just is not enough money to actually sustain a life.
The lifestyle here, got it.
And so they end up being homeless, you know, because it's a lot of, it's a lot of talented people that's homeless out here. I mean, it's a dime a dozen out here that can sing, they can act, but
Yeah,
they was out here trying to live their dream and
right.
didn't come prepared, you know what I'm saying? They wasn't, you know, planning to fail, they just failed to plan. So
Yeah.
it happens a lot out here. I see LA really eats you up. But
Yeah, they say like the turnover rate is like very quick. Like you come out here from a different place expecting to do great things, and then you learn very quickly. Like it's expensive as fuck to live here, and then like you said, it's a lot of talent here. So
yeah,
you have to. I don't know. I feel like that's where you really have to just find your niche and just try to figure out how you can set yourself aside. Honestly.
Right, you gotta separate yourself from the rest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we definitely going to get more into this personal life of yours,
Bet.
and we're gonna get into
Because I see you're interested in that. What's going on here? I feel like I'm being set up.
We never set up.
Oh,
We're gonna
okay.
definitely get into it. You know.
Oh, you know nothing? Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and pay some bills. We'll be back. I'll be damned. Hey guys, welcome back to I'll Be Damned. We got my boy Vaughn. How you doing, fam? We got my boy Ahmad back on here, and we definitely gonna get into Miss Danae's business.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we just getting a little personal. We said we're gonna get back into personal business and talk about what's going on in your personal life. The crazy thing about it is there is actually a relationship that unites everybody that's on this couch in one way or another, which is kind of interesting. Can you tell us about that?
Oh, you want me to start it off?
Yeah, go right ahead.
I was gonna piggyback off you.
Well, we piggybacking.
I feel like you.
Okay, let me go ahead and throw it in there then. All right. Amar, how did okay, he definitely gonna come in. How do you know Miss Danae?
My brother Philly.
Yeah, brother Philly, and how was that? How did you guys meet? What was the connection?
This is kind of weird. I be.
Yeah.
Right? This is like, who should be talking about this?
Well, I guess they dated, right? They did together.
Her and
They was
Philly
together.
dated.
I don't know how
And Philly,
Right.
basically.
And there was music brought you to the situation, right? With you and Philly, how did you guys connect?
We was writing with Ye and working on some shit, and then after that, it just kind of
came in.
yeah.
And it was a time that I was like pretty much listening to your music and stuff like that, and I heard Cam had a verse that was actually speaking about her, and I thought that's how you guys was interacting. Is that pretty much where it started?
No, I didn't even know.
So you was just your lyrics was literally just straight off of the song.
I swear to God, I put down everything I love.
Yeah, what was it?
I don't even know what was.
Well, no, we gonna get to that song.
Yeah, I don't even know what was said.
Later on. I know what song you talking about.
I'm puzzled.
Yeah, Clipper.
Stomped.
The Clipper one. We're gonna get into that song later on.
I was bamboozled and swindled.
No, and that was actually what you were on that record.
Yeah.
You were on that
Yeah,
record.
I was on the record.
It was-
And I guess.
We're on that record.
So I guess.
That was a good record, though. I'm not gonna lie.
I guess I said a line that related to her, but I didn't. I be just freestyle. I be very
See, that's the thing.
I
We
mean,
knew that.
yeah.
Yeah, we knew that.
It was a setup, for sure.
He didn't know, but we all knew that.
No, but he did.
No, he didn't know.
Yeah.
We knew that was all about her.
Yeah, he 100% didn't know about that.
He rap about his ass. I'm rapping about mine.
Right.
I thought everybody was gonna need to chill.
But you actually liked the song, did you not?
Honestly, it's a really good record.
It's a dope
It's a
song.
good record because I really fuck with Ahmad's voice. I think he has an amazing singing voice, and then I fuck with you. Like I've heard, like tracks that you've done outside of whatever you've done with Philly, and I fuck with you. So like when everybody collectively came together as a unit,
Right.
I was like, damn, this is. There was a time where I didn't like the record, obviously, because I was like, okay, you're doing too much, but ultimately, like I said earlier, self-growth, self-awareness, and I was like, it's a dope ass track.
So you was
I'm
able
ready
to
for
appreciate the
a
music
ride.
once you heard it.
Yeah, I'm ready for
I
it.
pray that the ex I talk about never gets this kind of understanding. She just hates me as much as I hate her. So let's just put that up there.
No, it's all love. I'm good.
That's dope.
So how is your music actually going right now? Since we jumped into the music topic about how you guys pretty much connected, how's things going with the music industry with you right now?
I got some next level shit about to crack off. That's all I can say is it's about to,
You there?
It's about to be, yeah, I'm not there. I still got a lot of work to do.
Right.
A lot of ground to cover, but as far as like worrying about what I'm gonna do, this is what I'm gonna do. And I'm I'm already set to do it. And I'm just walking into who I'm supposed to be.
It's crazy as how Philly he let me hear a song that it wasn't, I think it was when he was rapping in your car.
Yeah.
And it was just, he let me hear the verse, and I was like, who the hell is that? And he was like, it's my boy Vaughn. And I was like, run that back, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, it's crazy how you were speaking about relationships, but you was metaphorically breaking it down to a whole other level where you had to like rewind the track and be like, let me hear that again. So
Yeah.
the punchlines was crazy with that, and that made me like, let me hear something again.
It's just because I feel like niggas, we got females, they listen to, when they hurt, they go listen to Mary J. Blige, Keisha Cole,
Right.
you feel me?
Right.
All of that. Like, we don't got nobody to listen to. Because men who make music about relationships, they don't go into depth. They just say, you hurt me.
Right.
Versus me, I'm going to be like, you cheating bitch.
Right.
You conniving thief. You can kicking dizzy ass. Like,
Right.
I'm going to really break the whole situation down to what you did, how you did. And so that, I feel like that's why I connect, because men don't have that type of artist. We don't have an artist that makes sure that you connect.
Yeah, I think like maybe the first one I thought I could even think of that done that, maybe like LL back in the day, but his was more like, it was nothing but positive love. You never had that like, I got hurt, let me tell you my story, but then let me go in depth to my story.
Right.
So it was you had a visual with your music, like I could visualize what was going on.
And more so, it's like, so the first time I did it, I wouldn't even talk, I didn't even want to do it. It was just, I was getting bashed on Facebook about a whole bunch, like, I'm like, damn. And when the girl left me, I was sleeping in the car.
Right.
The same car I was rapping
Wait,
in.
you were sleeping in your car as well?
Yeah. So I was sleeping in my car, and then I just started rapping about it, like, all right, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Something popped off as a challenge, and people are talking about relationship shit. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna talk about it one time only.
Mm-hmm.
That was a lie, apparently, because now
Right.
I got like 3 mixtapes in,
Right.
still talking about the
You're
same
deep
person.
now.
Nah,
Yeah.
man, deep. Fuck it, we're gonna make t-shirts. On a birthday, instead of a cake and eating it, we're gonna smash it.
Right.
It's like that real. So, but, after that, after that, it just took off, and I was like, oh, this works. So I kept doing it because I'm like, oh, people are relating to this. When I do the other shit, people weren't connecting as much as I wanted them to. So it's like, oh, so this is what y'all want to hear from me.
Right.
But then people meet me and think I'm just a depressed nigga, and I'm like, bro,
Nah, I really ain't like
I
that,
really
right?
cheat. Like, I really.
I have a question.
Hold up, real quick. We got a question from the audience. Go ahead.
I got a question. I got a statement.
Yes, sir.
Fuck that bitch.
Hey, I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, fuck it. You know what I'm saying? You got a question?
Yes, so being in the industry, how much is it like who you know versus your actual music?
I think it's both. I feel like the people if you can have good music, but if you don't know the right people, you ain't never gonna be heard. There's somebody who's better than Jordan. He didn't have a relationship. So relationships is the majority of everything. Because if it wouldn't, we wouldn't have the people who we consider trash. In our own opinion, they wouldn't be as far as they are because their relationship with somebody was so good that catapulted them superstar.
Hey, we need to quiet on
Hey, y'all need to be quiet in the background, please. Appreciate it. All right, go ahead.
Yeah, so I just feel like it would have catapulted them into stardom if you have a great relationship with somebody who's important. If you walk in a room with a certain somebody who people look at like he a rookie or he nobody, and he walking you in for a meeting, everybody in that room gonna look at you like, but you walk in that room with somebody who is the nigga or the man or anybody,
Right.
and then everybody in the room immediately treat you with that same respect. It sucks because I've actually walked in the room with people who cut me out and was like, oh, I don't want to work with you. Nah, this and this and this. For whatever reason they have, but I walked in the room with the people I'm connected to now, and it's like a whole oh, bro. Like, it sucked my dick.
Right.
That does make you feel some
Yeah,
type of way.
like, yeah. Now I see your motives. Like, I see your intentions and who you actually are. I'm going to believe you when you show me that. So it's really about both. Your music will always lead the way, I'm gonna say that. Like your music will always, when I walk in rooms and play music for people, like the full catalog, they like, damn, you have that, and you know how to make hit records. And then there's also the understanding that your relationship is everything, because if you burn a bridge with the person who walks in that room, you'll never get in that room again, you believe me.
So you have to build pretty much relationships with these people also, or is it just who you know?
Nah, I feel like it's like, it's who you know. Because some people you don't have to really build a strong relationship with. You could just make the connection. Like, we don't have to be the closest people. Just the fact that you fuck with me and I fuck with you, just that one moment could walk you into another, and that's literally how it happens.
Wow, that's crazy.
Is that why there's so many fake people in the industry? Because they're always just
I feel
trying
like everybody's fake to somebody. So like I'm sure there's people who fuck with me or don't fuck with me no more, and they're gonna tell you I'm fake because I fuck with people who they probably don't like, so it's everybody, but it's like, you know, everybody don't like somebody, so I don't understand that term.
As you growing, and you got that people that's pretty much saying like you're not the same person.
Yeah, that's the worst shit, and it pissed me off when people like don't forget about me. I'd be like, don't be easily forgotten, because it's just like if I could live a day without you, and you're not a part of my everyday process, then
right.
I mean, why the fuck? Like, why would I call you? I didn't call you every day before I had money. Why would I call you every day now that I do have money? What? Like, I'm not changing. You're looking at me different. Like, the way your perception of me has changed. I didn't, and so now that I see your perception have changed, now I'm gonna change.
Right, and I think everybody changed to an extent. I mean, nobody works.
We're not
hard
changing
to
our
stay the
moral
same.
and values and all that type of shit.
just growing.
Yeah, because your environment don't change. You know, people. You don't see too many guys that's rich or millionaires that hang around with guys.
But then when people say that who like regular, no offense to like, you know what I'm saying, the regular people, but like people who don't have money or they still trying to get it and they still working, they be like, yeah, don't change. When you get money, don't change when you get rich, because that's what people do. And I always stop them like, who you know? Who do you know that was broke and got it out the mud and became rich and changed on you?
It's gonna be very, very.
And most of them don't know nobody that was like literally piss poor when they met them, and then now they're millionaires and they stopped calling them. If they did, they didn't fuck with you like that
in the first place. Yeah, 100%.
So that, you know what I'm saying? To me, that's cap. So I hate that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a dirty industry out here, and it seems like when you get to LA, it's a whole, like we was talking about earlier, it's a different animal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like being in Dallas, I mean, it's totally different. You know what I'm saying? People don't really flip on you as much like that, but when you seem like you get to LA, the mindset changes because the environment changes.
I I'm gonna be real. Like I'm glad that I came up out here, but I hate that I didn't come up somewhere else because of so much politics. It's like this is really a place of like who you know.
Right.
It's like dead ass because it's like, oh, you in where he from. You cannot work with a nigga just because where he's from. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it's like,
right.
oh, he from a different neighborhood that don't get along with our ally. I'm not working with him, and it really sticks like that. So it fucks. It closed a lot of doors on a lot of artists.
Yeah. Have you seen like any up and coming artists that you like want to work with, but just they're not in the right mindset or not in the right place yet, where you feel like you can bring them into your bubble?
First off, I'm not interested in bringing nobody in my bubble.
Right.
I just feel like most of the people who are dope, like we'll do features and stuff, but
Right.
I'm really like my circle is my circle. Like the people I fuck with, like that's the people I fuck with, and anybody else who not, it's not really.
So you just keep it strong in that circle, and then
Yeah,
in that mug, you just ain't in
Cause then you bring somebody in and that eager beaver collapse the dam. Like I'd rather not sink my ship
Right.
trying to save people on this little canoe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Fuck them on that canoe and let them figure it out. And I'm gonna take my cruise ship and we're gonna keep going and figure it out. I'm not here to save nobody.
I bet you getting like now them DMs and people that want to work with you before wasn't even trying.
But it's different. So it's like I'm not. If you didn't know who I was, then that's different. But if I tried to work with you,
Yeah.
then it's, you know what I'm saying. So it's like if I've reached out to you before and now you reach back, I'm gonna charge you double. I'm gonna
Right.
tax you because you played with me the first time.
Right.
But now if you just didn't know who I was,
It's different.
you know what I'm saying. So people who take that person, it's like the niggas didn't know you. Like
Right.
I wasn't popular then, so it's like I get it.
And that's like kind of that self-seeking thing I was talking about. Like they want to fuck with him now off the strength of what he's doing and who he's fucking with.
Right.
And it's more so like a benefit for them.
Mhm.
But he
Right.
wasn't fucking with me back then, you know?
Right.
So it's like now I'm up and you see the people that I surround myself with and it's
Right.
like you want to surround yourself with me because of my environment and what we can do and what we can bring. And to me, I think that's fake.
Yeah.
Like I fuck with people, I know people who are millionaires, people who are piss poor, but like my intention is not to hang out with a millionaire because they're a millionaire. It's
Right.
because I fuck with them off the strength of just them as a person.
Right.
So
Being that genuine shit is like, and I can see through it. Like she said, like it's like I just posted something about this today, like secret supporters, like the people who support you in hopes that you make it. And be like, you know, you kind of support me, but
Right,
you don't share shit, but you do.
ooh,
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it's a secret supporter. So it's like, but if I have a show, you're not really gonna show up. You
Right.
just, you know what I'm
You
saying?
ain't
You're
really
gonna,
supporting.
you gonna comment like, yo, that was lit. But damn, I was in the same city as you, and it was probably free.
Right.
You feel me?
But you ain't even show up.
You didn't even show up. So those things I never forget. Two things you don't forget is
Yeah.
Quiet on set.
two things you don't forget is the motherfucker who held you down and the motherfucker who did you wrong.
Right.
So it's like those two, if I see like, damn, this nigga is always at these big artist shows and he always doing that, and this nigga couldn't even pull up to my show, and he probably would have only had to be there for like 20 minutes because that was as long as my set.
Right.
We could have let that little inch that you went with show me. You'll forever be indebted. You know,
Right.
like,
Because it don't take that much to support, man. It don't take that much
that shit is free.
to share.
That shit is
to
free.
hit a like button.
That
To
shit
be
is
like,
free.
yo, I see what you're doing. Yo, you know, let me know when you're
You could just put a fire emoji on my shit, and I'd be like, nigga, that comment counted. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I look at those small compliments the same way I look at them 10 I don't even like reading paragraphs, so the shorter the better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if you like, that go for ladies, don't text me no paragraphs, so I'm not gonna read it. And if I do read it, I'm gonna pick the most
Top and the bottom.
most stupidest thing to respond to. That wasn't even Sprite, it was Coca-Cola. Like, I'm gonna make it a whole,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? But overall, it's just, I don't know, I just can't.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody secret supporting me, you know what I'm saying? If you don't support me out loud, then yeah, be quiet over there.
Right.
We have a
You said you
question.
have a question? Yeah.
So who or what inspired you to rap?
I've been making music since I was like 9. I've been taking it serious since I was like 12. I ain't never had like another dream. I was never like I'm gonna be a basketball player. I was never like I'm gonna be a football. I literally was like I'm gonna be a rapper and stuck with it.
So what made you? What was that final click that was like, you know what? I want to be a rapper. Was it someone that you looked up to, or is it just
Nah.
did you do poetry?
Nah, it just was like just listening to music. I think it was just like once I figured out like I think we was rapping at a fucking family gathering and shit, and people just start rapping, and then I rap, and everybody's like, oh, he can rap, and I'm like, oh, I can do something.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Where I'm like 9 years old, and everybody's like, keep going. Where it's like, you know what I'm saying? If it's grown-ups rapping around us, and they're like, Ray, keep going. And you keep telling me to rap after they go Ray, go again.
Right.
So at that point,
Motivated.
it just was like, oh, I can do something. And then I'm like, that's something I'm good at. I feel like I wouldn't be able to do nothing else. Like I probably had 30 jobs. Like I'm the person who's like, I'll quit a job because I'm like, I suck at this. I need to be rapping. This is not for me. Like I'm not built for this. And I don't follow orders well. So if like somebody tell me what to do, I'm like, bro, I should be making more money than you. Why the fuck are you telling me what to do? And that immediately changes my attitude toward it. And then I start doing shit on purpose. And either A, get fired, or B, I just quit. So,
Where are you from?
I'm from Long Beach.
I'm from Long Beach. What high school did you go to?
I traveled all high school. Literally, my mom, we went to, I probably went to like 7 different high schools and schools, elementary schools and shit.
Like within Long Beach or like?
Long Beach, all over, just Palm Springs, Arizona,
Okay.
Indio. Like we literally never went to the same school for like a year.
But you're from the
Yes,
beach though?
like I'm from Long Beach, grew up like on
On the east side or where?
I'm from the east side, on Elm Street.
Do you get love back at your?
Yeah, on Long Beach I get like now it's even more love than I've ever had. I think it's because now I push it more versus like because we did move around a lot. I am a person who be like, oh, I lived here, I lived here, I lived here, I lived here. So some people be mistaken like, oh, this nigga from Arizona because I went to high school out there for a year. And then some people mistake I'm from Palm Springs because I went to high school out there. So it's like it's just, you know what I'm saying? So but then actually putting like a stamp on it like, no, I'm from Long Beach. Like this is where the fuck I'm from. It just moved around. But Long Beach made me who, you know what I'm saying, the person I
And
am.
you still get love from it.
Yeah, and they still fuck with me.
That's dope. Man, and also, man, you even got my son inspired with your music.
That's dope.
He put it on his basketball highlight.
Nah, Philly showed me. That shit was crazy.
Yeah, he know, it was crazy because I know I play your song sometimes. I'm thinking he just listened to you here. He knew more words than I did. Like he was in there just letting it go, and I was like, man, it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? My daughter, you know, in Philly, like she can hear his voice and automatically know who he is. And so now my 12-year-old hear your voice and know who you is. So it's pretty cool to see that y'all done came up and man, it's just to see all the growth between all three of you guys. And what we're gonna do next, I want to make sure that we bring the person in here.
That connected the
We
dots.
connected the dots to all of us. So we're gonna go ahead and pay some bills. Be back in a minute. I'll be down.
I gotta change this color a little bit though. This is like this.
No, I thought it was up.
That's that light skins.
Oh my God.
You saw this good side to the camera, y'all.
You gotta fuck up, man.
You know, I appreciate you, brother. You know, I gotta do light skin.
Okay.
Oh my God.
What the color is it? Let's go.
California.
That's my light
I've
skin
heard
brother.
that this is a thing.
That's my light skin brother.
Well, y'all ain't too far off. But man, welcome back to I'll Be Damned. We got your boy Prince Philly back on. You know, welcome, man. Appreciate you for letting us use your place, man. You know, been real. You actually connected the dots between us, everyone that's sitting here. Tell us a little bit how you know each person. Give us a little rundown.
My brother Mod over here, you know, been family for about, me and my brother Mod over here, we've been family for about 10 plus years. Met him in San Diego, doing it like a little, like, America's Got Talent type stuff.
Okay.
He ended up getting first place, we got second, ended up connecting. Been doing music, writing music, and just been family ever since. My brother Ant right here, when I moved to Dallas for a little bit with my family, I was kind of just out there solo dolo. He approached me, found out I had some Allen Iversons on. He was like, oh, you got some AIs? I said, yeah, I'm from Philly, woo woo woo. He's an Eagles fan, I'm an Eagles fan. Been my brother ever since, my barber, my family. My brother Vaughn right here, we connected on just some music stuff. I was going through a bad breakup, you know, kind of living in my car, depressed, going through some stuff. His music really was transparent and just, I could feel where he was coming from, and he was so relatable to everything I was going through.
We're going through the
Reached out
same
to him.
shit.
Yeah, we was going through the same shit. I reached out to him, told him what I was doing. I remember it was crazy because he was like, oh yeah, get featured 200. And I was like, okay, no, it's cool. I was like, I didn't even know you knew my brother Ahmad and Hayes and all that. He said, oh, you know them? He was like, that's family. He was like, shit, send me whatever you need. Like, I got you. We ended up doing some records together, ended up doing a little like talent show type thing together. And that's literally been my brother, my family ever since. This one to my left right here. That's right. This is Danae. This is my ex. You know, it's a little, you know. All my songs are about her, in case y'all didn't know.
It's about to go down.
all my all my songs are about her, you know, but it's all love at the end
I
of the
didn't
day.
even know this was the vibe that it was giving. This was not what it was giving. Like initially when you reached out, I thought, you know, you had like a segment for Black women in business. And so I was like, okay, bet. Then when we were outside, you like, what's off limits and Cam's gonna come in. I'm like, wait, what's going on? So I feel like I look, he got a little bamboozle here. But it's all love, you know what I'm saying?
No.
Not at all, not at all.
No.
Like, at the end of the day, like I said, it's all love.
No.
I feel like, you know what I'm saying, you don't walk, we reconnected, you came to the crib not too long ago, and stuff. I mean, look, I'm just saying what it is. It's cool, it's all love. Like, it's
It's
not
not
it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it's the perfect time for everybody to just talk and just let loose about anything about like what you guys in the past try to get over, what you guys doing going forward in the future. All the way around. Ain't nothing wrong with it. It's open dialogue. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't a setup. It's just
No, it's not set up.
Nah, not at all. Not at all.
I'm just here.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, and on some real shit, we definitely wanted to know about you being an entrepreneur, being a Black woman and being an entrepreneurship. Like that's tough. It's it's tough already being an entrepreneur.
Right.
Then being a Black entrepreneur, then a Black woman entrepreneur.
Right.
You know, that's already tough. So the fact that you conquered that and you're moving forward in life and building on that, we definitely want to know about that. But it was a perfect opportunity we're having all these people that's connected in some way or another, and how he brought connection to that. So like, this is the perfect time to talk about how it was connected. You know what I'm saying? Like he was connected through him, came here, and at the end of the day, every last one of us are sitting right here after, no matter what we've been through with one another, being good. You know what I'm saying? And the premise and the base of the show is always to talk about Black, like people not having to always dislike or hate when you disagree. We can disagree with each other and disagree with certain topics and things and still not have conflict. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's something that we need to grow on. We always are constantly trying to one up each other or beat down one another. It's cool to dislike somebody or dislike something and not have to hate them. You know what I'm saying? So I think that was a perfect opportunity. So that was the main reason I brought everybody on together instead of having different separate segments. You know what I'm saying? So, but I did have no bullshit. I had someone. You were on it was the third show that you were on, and it was like, who is this mystery girl that he always do his music about?
That's me.
And so now that mystery girl is right here. You know what I'm saying?
And the fact that you can sit, like y'all could sit in the same, that's what I'm saying. The type of
That's
growth level, like to get for both of y'all, like I wish I could reach that capacity.
And we
That's
talking
what
about
I'm
as a family.
saying. Yeah, that shit. Which exactly we talking about that.
We talking
To
about
have that
that.
type of like mental capacity, because I'm not there yet.
Yeah.
Like I'm not, and I won't be. Like I won't be. Even when it's like, oh, we on the same page. It's like that shows how, like, what type of heart he has to be like, oh, even however he felt, or however y'all felt, however it was, whatever situation, y'all can sit next to each other and be like, oh, it's like we good. Ain't no bad blood. It's still we still like.
And it's not, I mean, like, I think it's a beautiful thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, I went through some shit, but it gave me the growth that I needed to be where I'm at, you know what I'm saying? So, in a way, I thank you, you know what I'm saying? Like,
And
do I wish things could have been different? Of course, but I don't think I would be in this position right now if things didn't work out how I wanted them to work.
Right.
So, it's like, everything has its purpose, everything has its reasons, and, you know, it's just a lesson for me.
Y'all both strong. I'm gonna say that. Like me, I be grilling you this whole goddamn. Yeah, I'm sitting this motherfucker like.
I know you won't.
I mean, at one point, I think we were like that. Like, at one point, I had blocked him on social media. He blocked me. I don't think we blocked each other on text. We were definitely not communicating. He was still communicating with my family, and I was low-key salty at them because I'm like, we're not together no more. Like, we're not in a relationship. So it's like, if I did it, y'all need to did it. And my mother was like, no, that's not how it works. Like, he has a relationship with your siblings. He has a relationship with me.
Right.
So she's like, my season wasn't up. And I'm like, okay, well, when is it going to be up? Because I just felt like there was no need for there to be any communication. Like, we don't have children together, so what the fuck are y'all still talking to him for?
Did you hate the fact that you brought him in so close and deep, where they gained that close of a bond, to when you separated, they still had a relationship?
I won't say that I like necessarily hated it, but I just was like, the thing about me is I move on. I expect everybody else to move on with me. So it was like, okay, I'm dating someone, and next year I'll probably or might be dating someone else. I don't know how it's gonna work. So it's like if I move on, y'all will meet, you know, move on too.
So if you have a
Do y'all
friend,
agree with that?
no, I don't. And reason, not necessarily like I just completely just disagree, but if you're in deep with someone like that and you gain a relationship with their mother and their sister or something, once you gain a relationship,
But let me
it's a
interrupt you.
little
What is deep? Okay, like Cam and I, we don't have no children together.
different. Right?
We were only together for how long? A year. Okay, a year and a half.
Huh?
I mean, what's deep? Like we're not talking
But-
about 4 or 5 years and we don't have children together.
But
Like,
kids just
and I'm not trying to discredit. I'm not trying to discredit our relationship that we
No, I
had.
can answer that.
Okay.
Whenever you're as personable as he is, so he's about building relationships and getting to know people genuinely. You build those bonds, and then it's hard to break away because those bonds are strong. So some bonds are made in months, years, it depends. But if you have good-hearted people, it's okay to be.
I mean, and for instance, like the people closest to me, I haven't known them that long.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But these, I consider this literally people that I love and family, like raised.
Years.
Like,
But it's not.
I didn't
it ain't
grow up
like
with
a
them, but it's
decade.
like I know what it is because they're
Right.
good, genuine hearted people. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody in here, I have a connection with. I didn't have to grow up with them to. I know people that I grew up with that I won't even fuck with.
right.
You know what I'm saying? But it's like because I understand. No, it could be.
But
we
chiming
consider it a mother.
in on her behalf, she's like more so like, I feel like if it's over, because it's like, if it's me, it's like, okay, if I'm like, okay, I'm done with it, why I still, it's like, you still here.
Right.
In a sense, it's like, you still, like, bro.
And then you also don't know that person's intentions. Because it's like, why are you still communicating or why are you still reaching out with certain people? Is it because you want to be close to me? Is it because, and I'm not necessarily referring to you, but in
Right,
general,
right,
like,
exactly.
are you reaching out?
It's like a way to get back
Yeah,
around
you
and
know,
talk
like, what
to
are your
my sister
motives? Like,
because
because you
you
know
want
she's
me
gonna
to
tell
be-
me and she knows that I'm
that's why,
gonna
see me, that's why me female mom, I'm a cheat anyway. So I don't want to be your mom. I'm just not just.
You got a button for that? I got a button here.
I do. He threw me all off with that one. I can't. He can't fuck me up with that one. I'm gonna cheat anyway.
I'm gonna cheat anyway. I don't want to meet your mom. It's just, but I feel where both is coming from because I've had a situation where I'm like, bro, why y'all still talk to that bitch, bro? Need it like.
See, now I see it's different with like, if my boy with a girl and he breaks up with her, I'm no longer friends with her no more.
Right.
Now that to me I think that's different opposed to when you have a connection with a family. That's a little different. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You
Hold
know.
on, he's gonna turn off the air.
You got a question about this?
Hold on, he said don't turn off.
Okay, I'm gonna turn off the air. We gotta get right to you. I can 12.
Are you gonna ask a question?
He
No,
said
I'm
he
like
like
the
the
12.
club.
I like the 12.
He turning that air off.
Oh, yeah, with the camera back on, like, ask
No, the camera's still rolling, but you want to be able to hear it. Like the camera pick up everything, so it hears it. You gotta project real loud.
Nigga, air turn off.
On the two cameras on? I mean, two lights on.
No, this one.
Turn it off.
That's the camera right here. Right here, that's the mic. Yeah. You good, bud?
No, he turned it.
Yeah. We just got to project louder.
Yeah, until it stops.
Okay. What? Yeah. Okay.
What is the question?
how long it would take for it to get deep?
I mean, honestly, can you hear me? Or I'm gonna face this way. Honestly, I feel like a year is it's a short amount of time. Like you're still growing and learning. Like I mean, I know people that have been in relationships for years and they still don't know the motherfucker that they with. Like if you watch shit on Investigation Discovery, it's like I was sleeping with a killer. Like I've been married to this man for 20 years and I didn't know he was chopping bitches up in you know. So it's like I feel like you're always still learning and growing someone. And like my response when someone asks me like, oh, are we gonna be together forever? My response is, however long our forever is. I don't know how long our forever is going to be. I don't.
Toxic.
But no, is that toxic?
Yeah.
I don't know how long our forever is.
But you have to hope in something longer.
But
That's halfway. That's halfway. That's a foot halfway out.
Put it out.
Right.
I'm speaking from the toxic.
Is it toxic?
From the
Yeah,
toxic.
that's
I'm telling you, I'm
I
toxic
feel-
junior.
I with you forever. Like, I don't know, and you don't know that. No one
Somebody
fucking
asked
knows
But you
that.
gotta stick to it.
If you answer
It's
me that, let me ask you like, yeah, we're gonna be together forever, and I already know we ain't. And you don't, because I'm saying on some toxic shit, just speaking on some toxic shit, and you respond with however you getting out.
Right.
You getting out, and like, what the
Straight
fuck?
up.
That's so.
Because it's that 1 foot in and 1 foot out where it's like, I'm not sure. And
But
so
damn.
the hopeful part of it is like, I would hope for us to be together forever.
Okay, that's a better way to answer,
Yeah,
but at the same time, I also still don't know. And it's like, damn, I feel
Well, you don't know
like people
nothing.
put a lot of expectations
Nobody knows
on people
shit.
when they first start dating. And like, damn, this is a lot. You have a lot of expectation on
Now
you.
that's what I don't do. I don't have an expectation on anything because if you expect something, you will be let down.
Yeah, but where she come from, so it's like, it's the same as like giving somebody a label. Like once you label something,
Like, put them in a
immediately-
box.
I feel like that becomes a problem.
So off the top, so then like in the beginning, it kind of like it fucks up shit because it's like, oh, now your expectations change. It changed.
So dating and boyfriend, did that change?
It always happens like that. That's why
I do feel like it
This
is.
is in the fantasy world.
Say what?
I said she dancing forever because these bitches live in the fantasy world.
Oh, that's good.
You
That's
say that bitches live in fantasy world.
it's very realistic.
But
Forever tomorrow.
But
I mean,
you could be realistic, but also being positive.
yeah.
I think be positive, yeah, but be realistic. I think, be positive, but be realistic. I think that people have a lot of unrealistic expectations for people, and I just think it really sets the dynamic up and it sets you up for failure. I'm a realistic person. I'm very realistic. I'm very transparent also. Maybe to a point where the person I'm dating might not even want to know certain things, but I feel like it's better to be as transparent as possible because it's going to eliminate a lot of bullshit. Like he said, he gonna cheat off the rip. Why don't you just be poly then? Why don't you just tell?
So, but then what I'm saying for that perspective is like,
why?
isn't that? What about being hopeful? There's also a thing of being hopeful where it's like, okay, well, I'm being realistic that we might not make it to the finish line because everybody don't get a ring.
Right.
But I'm hopeful that we can work through everything and then you just find somebody who's worth it because that's the whole point of being like, where you can have a mindset like that, but then find somebody because if not, you'll just be jumping.
No, you're right. That's fine.
Yeah,
You're right. You're right. That's fine.
Do you want to eventually get married? Like, is that on your radar?
Yeah, that's definitely on my agenda to be like, I don't want to be the rich nigga with like without a wife. I'd rather have the nigga who have like a whole bunch of kids. Like I want a whole bunch of kids. Like I literally want like 12 kids or something. Like them niggas in Louisiana. I want my own football team because I'm too small to play football. So like what I'm saying, but it's like with those type of hosts and shit, I would never be able to have that environment where I could raise all 12 of those children together if it's different people.
Right.
If I'm not married, so if I'm not married, it'll make it harder for me to get all of them together. So that is definitely on my agenda to give my kids the shit that I didn't have, which was like a household with both parents that was like, they had everything that they needed.
But so when do you start cultivating that healthy relationship? Because you mentioned earlier that you're gonna cheat off the rip. So
Well, I'm just saying, it's certain, you find somebody who's worth it.
Right.
Like somebody who's worth it. So it's like, I'm not the person who's like, I'm also not the person who's like, oh, if you cheated on me or you did something to me, it's over. Like I've apologized to a girl for cheating on me because I wasn't being the man that she needed me to be.
Okay, that was a big of you.
Yeah.
So it's like me being like, I understand how you can get to this point where you feel like another nigga attention was
Right.
better than mine. I'm a felon, I don't have a car, I don't have a job. At this point, I'm your girlfriend. Like I'm you doing everything. I can comprehend, I understand
But
that.
it
So
takes a different type of mindset in a person to be big enough to even acknowledge.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So it's like I'm also, even though I have like the jaded type of movement, but I still comprehend where I'm like, you find somebody who's worth it. Because to put that expectation that you're gonna be perfect forever is what's gonna fuck us up. But if I know that you're gonna fuck up and I'm gonna fuck up, then are you worth it? Are you worth the trouble? Because I can go to another motherfucker and they're gonna do the same thing that you're gonna do, just because they're gonna do it different. They're gonna paint the shit green, but it's still red. They just painted it green.
We do too many half foot in, half foot out.
Yeah.
Too much when it comes to relationships. The first thing that we're doing is always talking about the negative before we started.
Well, you're right.
You know what I'm saying? You got married, the first thing you want to talk about before you get married is a prenup.
Right.
Right.
Well, you already talking about a relationship not making it
Right.
before you start.
What about you?
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think the mindset has to change in relationships.
I don't think I would make a girl sign a prenup if I'm married. Even if rich, people don't agree with me. What, ain't supposed to get annoyed for that?
Huh?
People don't agree with me.
Yeah, definitely.
Because I heard a lot of
Yeah.
No, he said I'm gonna make your wife sign it myself. That's crazy. I just wouldn't, because why would I be getting married? If I got the pick of the litter, if I'm about to be this lit nigga and I have the pick of the litter, and you don't think I know how to pick, you know what I'm saying, who I want? If I can pick whoever the fuck I want to, anybody will get in the car and ride with me on this ride of marriage.
I would never come to a woman with a prenuptial, but I understand if someone that already has money, they want to make sure the woman's coming to be with them.
With
not
you.
what you can give.
But if
But
I
meet
just feel
you
like,
before I get
you know how much
I
it's
could
gonna
never
make?
do that.
You know how much it's gonna make for me to make, like, ask you to marry me? So if I know it's gonna take a lot for that, like, I wouldn't even ask you no stupid shit like that on top of asking you to, you know, for a prenup, because I know in my soul, like, if I'm gonna marry you, I'm really serious about this.
Right.
What about you, having money? Would you ask your future husband to sign a prenup?
That's tough.
That's crazy.
That's tough.
I don't know. 'Cause you know what? I kind of agree with both sides. Like, I feel like, damn, we're going into it already setting our relationship up for failure. Like, damn, we're already going into it and like, I need you to sign this paperwork because we're probably gonna fuck up, and I don't want you to take all my money. But then at the same time, like Aunt said, if you're established and you have money, sometimes I feel like you have to worry about people and if they're being genuine or not. Like, are you just trying to be with me because you see what I got going on? So you just don't know what people's motives are, and that's why, I don't know, it's just very tricky.
My mindset of that is like, so if I'm rich and I have somebody who's not rich, my goal is to build that woman up to be a millionaire. So you won't even want to come take nothing from me if you want to get all back. So it's like, if I'm already rich and you ain't already there, then that's it. But if I did end up with a woman who was rich and you got your own money, I got my own
And I
money.
feel like that's we came to the one podcast we did the one time. I feel like it's a difference between a man and a woman, because it's like when it comes to saying that shit, a man would be willing to
Build
okay,
yeah.
oh, you have goals, you have motives, you have dreams. Okay, let me help you get there.
Right.
The opposite, the female would be like, oh, you don't have that? Nah, fuck it. I want a nigga that got it.
Yeah.
But not necessarily.
But we talking about
Jordan. Girls be like, I don't fuck with broke niggas. Off top.
A guy mentality is
man
everything.
is, what the fuck you got
Yeah,
going on?
but a man could see a girl and we see the potential in that woman, like, it'd be like, okay, well,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Six-figure dudes is not coming to the table saying I need a six-figure woman.
Yeah.
Because they looking like, hey, what else can she do for me? I got the six figures.
I got that. Because that's how we were born.
But most women are I got six figures, he gotta match me. But it's a lot, well, why do the man always have to match you and you're not always matching the man?
That's a good point too. I feel like a lot of women have these high ass expectations of men, and it's like, sis, your credit is fucked up. Your bank account is negative. Your car is trash, but yet you're expecting like a rich nigga 8 figures to do all this, but it's like you don't even have no credit.
But it
You
goes
can't
back
even-
to the men not expecting anything from the women.
What do you mean?
They don't have expectations of how much a woman brings to the table.
No.
Right.
Nah.
So.
That's a bonus. If a woman comes to the table with money,
that's a win.
that's a bonus.
Right. But is it okay if they're in the negative to have bad credit? Like, are men okay with that?
Yeah, see, but that's what I'm saying. That's what you're saying. Where men are like, we would do, like, we would take a woman like that and try to build her up to be a
Because you
successful
bring
woman.
something else to the table that we need.
Right. All I need is you to have your head on straight.
Yeah.
I need you to have your head on straight. Don't stress
Woman
me
doesn't
out.
think that shit.
You gotta give it completely.
Right.
If it's something that I'm missing,
All
that you got,
right.
I don't need your money if I got it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I think that's where we collide at, because a lot of women is six figures. And then we had a segment we was talking about six-figure chicks who can't get dick. And even if it's blatant as hell, but it's like you got a lot of women who got six figures that can't get sex from a dude who don't even fuck with you because you're coming off wrong, off the rip.
Now, are they not getting dick because they don't want to get dick, or the option's not there?
No,
Or because the men,
it ain't. I don't ever believe there's a woman out here that don't want to get dick unless she's trying to get something else. It ain't a woman out here that will not want to have someone. So no one chooses to be alone. unless you just.
I hate that shit. I hate comfortable being alone.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable being alone. As long as it sounds good.
I can answer to that.
That's not a woman's nature.
Come on,
No,
man.
I am comfortable. I'm single. Y'all let them know. But I am. Hell no. I know. Listen to what I'm about to say though. Listen to what I'm about to
Let's
say.
hear this.
I am comfortable in my day-to-day. I, go to work. I take care of myself. I have my house. I take care of
And
myself.
you want what?
I would want a future husband.
Yeah.
But right now, I am perfectly comfortable with myself. Because I'm not here for bullshit.
But if Mr. Right comes
Right now.
tomorrow, right now, you take it.
However, I'm good by myself.
Yeah, but that's anybody.
Yeah.
You
I'm
good
not
by
by
yourself on a day-to-day basis.
I'm talking about naked cuddles, spooning. You don't miss that? That's great.
I mean, I might miss it, but I'm good. Like, I'm good.
I don't believe you.
I don't believe that shit at all.
I think it sounds
Hell
good.
no.
Go ahead, that shot.
I was saying that shit. That shit sounds good. I know damn well. You about to leave.
Hell no. Again, P, go ahead and give me that shot.
I'm taking a shot, but I'm good.
No,
Like,
It sounds cool. I feel like
You say that you're good until you start charging up the batteries. Like,
without bullshit. Thank you.
you know how many niggas we got from our hand that was great that they gave us no bitching, no nagging, they ain't asked for no money.
But we
But
still.
you still want a woman.
I said exactly.
Like,
I mean, Pamela has done wonders.
Work.
I sat on this here before.
We have a question.
You got a question?
So you talk to yourself.
Huh? No, I want to people.
No. Sonny. He asking.
You can't be comfortable if you don't talk. Like you talk to yourself if you that comfortable. That means you create some sense of.
hold on. Say it again.
You create companionship if you talk with people.
You crazy companionship. You talking.
Period.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
Why you babysitting that shot? Hit
You
that
say
person
you comfortable by
Take that
yourself.
and answer that
Hit
question.
that answer.
so I mean,
Yeah, hit that answer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Good.
There we
Thanks,
go.
baby.
Right up in here. Right up in here.
no.
She said no.
So I talk to a lot of people. Like with my job, I talk to a lot of people, in-depth conversations. I have a great family, I have a great friend circle. So I get that fulfillment from those people. Now, would male energy be great? Sure. But it's not something that I am going to go hunting for. So like,
Because you got a 25-page list of the nigga you looking
I'm about to say
for.
that list.
Yeah, like
Motherfucker.
we already had this on other podcasts. You got a list that you're looking for. Hey, hold on. Why we talking about this? Do a man need kind eyes? Kind eyes.
What is that?
okay.
That's her list. Man need kind eyes.
What that mean?
Have you heard of kind eyes?
No.
It's like friendly eyes. Have you ever looked at someone that is mean or evil and you can tell it in their eyes? No.
Like killers?
Killers.
If I'm looking at his head and I see his soul, I don't think he got it together. He killed them.
Friendly eyes.
Like, so you could just.
Like soft.
Like color eyes?
Yeah, like just someone who's friendly and welcoming.
So have you ever heard somebody saying, "Why, girl, why ain't it work? That nigga eyes weren't friendly." Hell no.
I mean,
Never.
but no, not he won't.
Killers.
The soft-eyed people be the killers. That's what she
No.
said. It's all about the devil. That nigga don't come to you.
Yeah. Satan do not come to you with evil.
You feel me? Like yo, he comes to you with kind eyes.
What were we talking about?
No, she all talking about, I don't need it.
Nah, we
I mean, I don't. That's the thing.
comfortable being alone was your topic. That's what you trying
Okay.
to
For how long?
How long?
Until the batteries go out.
Until the batteries go out.
It's rechargeable.
Rechargeable.
USB cord.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Charger break.
Yeah, that damn cord like this, that motherfucker ain't working no more.
Like a rabbit shit.
Yeah. As soon as you come to her house in Georgia, it's tapping. What is it?
Ever.
Nah, that's crazy. But I mean, if you, how long? That's a good question. How long?
I think we're somewhere around the 3.5, 4 year mark.
Oh
hold on. And within that 3 or 4 years, have you had dates and encounters and
Entanglements?
Not even entanglements. A couple.
situationships?
Not even that. A couple.
Sneaky link?
DAs?
And not the difference?
There's been a few dates. There's been a few.
DAs?
Was the last one with the old dude?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, she had a sugar
No,
daddy.
that was a date that was a disaster.
Well,
Go watch the podcast if you want to.
I'm
know.
gonna watch
What's
it.
happening? Mika, what's happening? What's happening?
How often do you feel lonely?
Lonely? Not too much. No. Like I said, I have a good circle around me. So if I need to go hang with someone, if I need to talk to
See,
someone.
but that's not
I'm
fair.
about to
So
say
this,
But like,
this is what
I
I was
think
about to
intimacy from like a man though, like intimacy from
Right.
like a man.
Like, sure, I miss that. It would be great. But like I said, I'm not
How
here for
often do you
bullshit.
feel like you miss them?
I mean, probably daily, but I'm good. Like, I don't put up with bullshit. So if someone's not coming to me correct, I'm not gonna take the time to deal with them.
So, see, but then there's a thing of like, if y'all are good and then he do offer bullshit at some point, you gonna leave him?
I mean, if bullshit is worth it, absolutely.
Then who's worth staying?
Someone who, okay, I mean, okay. Don't cricket
Keep cricketing in
it. So, I'm the type of person, I am very understanding, like probably over understanding when it comes to most situations that I've been in. But from those, I learn and know when to put a stop to things. I mean, I've said it on here before. I've dated married men before, not knowing that they were married. They were. Can I talk? You know, they told me they were divorced. They were out of the situation, and I believe them.
You gave them the benefit of the doubt.
Absolutely. So when it came down to it, and I found out that they were lying,
That's
it
over.
was done.
Yeah, that's a big lie.
Yeah.
Right.
That's a reason like I'm out of there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not talking about bullshit like you didn't call me in the last hour. Like,
What about the last day?
I mean, it depends on our relationship. If his lifestyle is busier, okay. But I mean, I'm not the type of person, and I've said it before, I don't need the needy guy. Like, I have my life, he can have his, and then we can combine when necessary. But I don't need someone texting me every 10 minutes, check in, or seeing what I'm doing, because I'm doing me. Like, I'll be respectful to a relationship, but outside of that, I mean, you do you, I'm gonna do me.
I feel that.
We need to play some more like that.
I feel that. I feel like, and the reason I feel like that is because I feel like, honestly, on some real shit, I feel like during our relationship, I was very needy. You know, I was in a situation, I came from a situation, I came out here to LA with my brother and mom on some random stuff. He was like, yo, come to this situation, come to the studio. I was sleeping by a stove. She came into my life and was like, yo, you can come over here. I got very comfortable. I got very needy as a man. She ain't like that. Now, I'm as me now, I don't want that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I understand where she's coming from.
Yeah, you're totally different now.
I'm totally different from who I was back then. I understand it, so I feel that because it's like I've grown so much and it's like I don't want nobody needy because I got so much shit going on in my life between businesses, music, this and the third. It's like I feel where she was coming from. She was a very independent businesswoman. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I understand that shit now. So it's like I completely feel that shit.
So do we?
I was very needy when it came to that shit.
So do you think you missed out on your blessing by overlooking like good men because of their financial situation? Do you think you can miss your blessing like that?
I'm sorry, repeat it.
Do you think you can miss your blessing by overlooking the good man because of their financial situation?
Are you referring to him?
No,
like,
in general.
or in general?
Period.
I mean, I don't know. I just feel like with me, I'm not a complacent person, and I'm very motivated. I've been working since I was 15. I'm a go-getter. Like, I'm gonna get.
So you want somebody to max it in?
Absolutely, and especially, my partners. So I think, just referencing, going back to what he was saying, like, it was like, oh, I feel like you were getting a little complacent. And I'm like, I'm gonna apply the pressure to your neck because guess what? I'm applying that pressure to my neck. I have a lot of siblings. I have people that I do a lot of shit for. I take care of people. So it's like, I want to put that same pressure on my partner. There were times where he would be like, oh, I'm not gonna go to the studio. I'm like, nah, baby, you gotta get up and go.
He He told me that.
Don't cancel your session for me because you want to be laid up with me. I need you to go out there and get to your motherfucking bag.
That's
So
one thing she did do. I will.
Yeah.
No facts. One thing he always, no matter what he say, he be like independent go getter, and she's like motivated. So like it's not like
He's always said.
no matter what, he be like, okay, y'all relationship, whatever. He didn't assassinate your character of who you are.
yeah, and I mean, I'm not perfect. You know, I've done some things or
Mhm.
whatever, but ultimately, like, it was, I think I was trying to push him and apply the pressure to his neck so he could, like, go and be the great person that he needed to be.
Right.
Because I feel like sometimes in relationships, people do get very complacent. Like, that's why you see people get big as hell, they got relationship weight.
Right.
and
I feel like that's a reason to cheat
yeah.
or leave.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like I'll leave you because you got fat.
Oh.
I will. Like that's how. Nah, because if a person so
She wasn't ready.
No, I wasn't.
She wasn't ready.
if there's a person who say pause, Philly, he worked out, that's who you fell in love with, the man who has this type of body and this, and then he just get comfortable and sloppy. And
No, I agree.
nasty. Then it's like, bro, you're not the same person that you were when I met you.
Yeah,
I agree. I think at that
I'm not
point maybe
liking your
not
ass.
just cheat or leave, but a conversation definitely needs to
I'm
be
out.
had because it's just kind of like, damn, baby, like what's going on?
But that conversation happens before they get big. You don't think you kind of like.
Yeah, you
just
notice
kinda-
that they
yeah,
get
you
big.
kinda
No,
like,
right,
you know what?
right.
Honestly, I've seen where
And
the
that's a good
conversation didn't necessarily happen. It was the man trying to walk on eggshells and not disrespect a woman and trying to give her hints like, baby, you want to go to the gym?
Now he walking on eggshells, can she?
No.
Yeah, no,
No,
absolutely
she
not.
gonna break them eggshells.
Yeah, for sure. And so you get those situations I think that happen to where like they walking on eggshells, they don't necessarily want to tell the person, and the next thing you know they getting too big and it's like, oh, well you never told me, we never had a conversation, and you didn't want to be with me because I was fat.
Do I gotta tell you that?
I say yes.
Why?
The communication has to happen.
I mean, you're not communicating on how big you get.
But that's being seen.
Exactly.
But that person has to see that.
That's
You gotta pretty much be like, yo, you can't just up and be like, I'm leaving tomorrow. Why? Well, you got a little big. That conversation should have happened like, look, babe, I'm attracted to this person. I can pull up Facebook, or you want to pull up MySpace, whatever you want to do. And be like, look, this is the person I fell in love with, you getting out of whack. But you catch it before it gets to that point where you're attracted.
But they didn't just go to sleep and wake up fat. That was a gradual.
That's what I'm saying.
Progression. It's
That has to
too
be
late.
talked about beforehand.
It's too late.
Well, yeah.
But I mean, would that be considered talking about expectations in the beginning of dating?
No, because
No.
if I got with you a certain way,
You don't know what's gonna happen during
Because
that
you do
relationship.
have men that are out there that are, I don't care if you gain weight, I love you no matter what.
That's cap. That's cap. That's cap.
That ain't me.
Because as soon as you get big, a nigga gonna cheat on you.
I'm not going
But we gonna cheat regardless.
Yes, that is true.
So
That is
don't
true.
care whether you get big or small.
That's true. See, that brings me back to the topic we were talking about. Like, that's why it's like, I have.
Do you plan on cheating on your wife?
I would never cheat on my. See, I actually fall out with friends who cheat on their wives
Okay.
because you took vows. Like a girlfriend or something, like you can break up with you don't have to tell your girlfriend you broke up, and you can literally be broke up with her. Just don't respond to her. Realistically. But if you go to God and you go and you tell your family and you put this woman on a pedestal and you say that this is my wife and this is the person I'm going to love forever, and you cheat on her and you are disloyal to her, I no longer can trust you.
So you don't believe that whenever you commit to having a girlfriend or boyfriend, that whenever you make that commitment, you're making a mini marriage commitment?
No, that's not such thing.
No?
No, it's not such thing. Even though that I'm okay with and I agree with people being in relationships and dating and all that stuff, but technically there's not such thing.
So when you're in a relationship, it's okay to cheat?
But
Like, that's what I'm saying?
if you want to get realistic, there was never such thing as a relationship.
I mean, we're not going biblical. We're
I'm
going
just
this
saying,
day and
yeah,
age.
that's what I'm saying. So
Yeah, but this day and age, when you are dating someone, if you cheat on them, it's a bad thing, right?
To who?
Yes, it's a bad.
Thank you.
That shit felt good.
I feel like
You toxic. You talking about you
We
toxic.
got me saying toxic.
I'm toxic, but this nigga toxic.
Oh my God.
Let me ask you, you've been pretty quiet. Is cheating okay when you're dating?
Nah, she is never okay.
What?
Hey,
Hey, what that button is?
We
But
different
now
type of
they-
people though.
Yeah,
I
no,
gotta agree with him.
It's
on.
different type of
Everybody's
people.
different. Everybody's everybody's different. I'm a different type of everybody. We have to understand this. People.
So you don't cheat? You would never cheat?
I would never cheat. Ever.
That's my boy.
On some real shit,
I
I would
can't.
never cheat.
I actually can vouch for
Anybody
that.
that knows me would actually understand this. I would never cheat.
Hey, I ain't gonna even lie. We keep the buck. He got some ass thrown at him when he was.
And I would not.
That nigga
I
back,
feel like
back,
that
back.
nigga cheat. Wrong direction.
Come on, man. You gotta learn
I
the
was
word.
showing you blocking the ass and shit.
No, so but anybody that knows me, I would never cheat. Like Aunt knows for a perfect example, and I wouldn't because the type of person. But that comes down to everybody's different.
So I think so. But so let me clarify or specify. When it's like, so say I haven't had a lot of relationships. I had a lot of situationships. So it's kind of different for me where it's like I didn't voice my commitment to you. Like if I put you like the same thing, like you all on my Instagram. Realistically, like I know how to act. I know how to be the person that you need me to be.
Right.
If you're my girlfriend, like actual girlfriend, I know how to conduct myself as your boyfriend.
Right.
You feel what I'm
While
saying?
still cheating?
Once I talk without cheating, I dated girls and didn't cheat on them. Like I actually dated that'd be my problem though, getting accused or getting treated like I'm cheating. Then I'm gonna be like, all right, for sure, like, if you think I cheated and you still here, guess what I'm gonna do?
I'm gonna go do it.
Cause you're still here, stupid.
You're not gonna accuse me of doing something.
So, but realistically, I'm not. But if we just a situationship, or we just not, we don't know that we have that commitment with each other, and it's a gray area, then like.
I want to go off something you was talking about earlier. You was like, that's why I don't pretty much. What's the word we use when you were talking about cheating?
Predict the future, basically.
Yeah, right. But like, women statistically cheat more than men.
Facts. Throwing that box around.
Because it's something that it's a stigma that we got, and it's something that we get stereotyped on. With men cheat.
We don't get as many.
But women, you guys can cheat without getting caught because their side niggas is not trying to be main niggas.
Mm-hmm.
Side chicks are trying to be main chicks. So there's a difference.
And
You know what I'm saying? Like we're not up here running to go tell the other dude that we still getting what the hell we want.
That's true.
Women, they like, no, I want to be the one he's squeezing all every night. You know what I'm saying? So they gonna go tell and confide into the girlfriend that he cheating on with.
but two, like women have people lining up at the door whether they're ugly or not.
Oh yeah, women
Like
never.
women have like an ugly man. He just fucked because he for real. He don't have the girls around him. Like
If he got bread though.
I mean, if he got bread, but see now we're creating a standard. I'm talking about just a regular man. If you put a regular man and put females in front of him and he ugly, all them females gonna say he ugly. Men are gonna like the females gonna be like he ugly. Some of them gonna try to look for the qualities in him, but off rip, you don't know nothing about him. That man is ugly. Nobody's lining up around the corner. As men, we're like wired to think like horn dogs. So it's like even if she ugly,
we got that fuckable rule.
Yeah,
like, she fuckable.
Yeah, she fuckable, and that's why a nigga will fuck you. Be like, oh, he cheated on me with
With an
I
ugly
was thinking
bitch.
of the dick eater because
Bad
we
bitch.
wasn't even thinking about how bad she was. It was just like, oh, it's something to do. It was just something
But
to
to
do.
me, it's like, so when do you guys actually
Some
start?
people turn it off when you
Yeah, 'cause to
mature.
me-
It's
yeah,
an
when?
immaturity thing.
I feel like you searching for more of your like I know it's a problem. It's just
Cause it's like that happens a lot of situations.
am I an intervention? Because
I know.
I'm just like
Same.
Yeah,
Okay.
we put it for y'all.
Nah, but yeah, I just feel like men who do that, it's just like the immaturity and you just trying to satisfy yourself. But once you grow and mature, you find somebody that you satisfy with, and you like no.
It gotta be the quality, like,
Yeah.
and I feel like men don't. It's like
it just
when is it
grows
the
up.
quality over the quantity? Like,
But sometimes
like,
it's just you
bad
gotta
build,
grow.
horrible
Gotta grow.
female.
You gotta grow, cause it got to a point to where like I knew it was time when the person would exit my life for a day, and I was like, I miss it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't miss people like that. I didn't give a shit. So when I couldn't be without you, I knew I had to be with you.
Right.
So it's a feeling that a man can get to where they just automatically roll like, damn, that person's different.
If I call you and say I miss you, like I really miss you.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo, I really, because I'm not gonna do that till like random.
Yeah.
I get posting that. What's that shit?
That's good. You don't do
Like, you don't get on
me.
straight
Like,
up.
so it's like posting up part of it. Like clarity, posting up clarity. Like I could be like at home chilling, whatever, and I'd be like, damn, that little bit. I'm about to call her, and I fuck around, put on some XNXX, nasty mouth,
not the
break it
XNXX.
out, and then you break it, you feel me? And then after that, then you like, I be done. You like, matter of fact, that bitch is annoying. She talks too much.
Why the fuck I even text her?
Why I didn't text her? And you don't want to text her. But it's some people who you just like, I can do that, and then you be like, damn, I still miss this person.
Yeah, things like that will make a dude talk to you the next day. You will literally bust a nut and be like, why? She said it.
Is that why someone said recently on the podcast that she wanted to know why men only want to fuck her? And then that's it?
Yeah, you know what? I remember that podcast. Yes, because she's not worth more than being fucked.
Damn.
To him.
To him.
No, to a lot.
Oh my God.
Because we just keep it in a buck because the personality spews out that you will never be nothing more than a fuck.
Then a fuck, right?
So,
I mean, and that goes to
Right.
how the woman is carrying herself.
right, exactly.
I don't carry myself that
You
way.
treat bitches like bitches, hoes like hoes. It's
Facts.
That's how you do it.
And that's another
You put
story.
yourself in that category, and that's how you be treated. So if you conduct yourself as a woman, we have no choice but
But
to
the treat,
respect
I got a thing for ratchets, right? So usually I fuck around. Yeah, I fuck around with like some bitches who like they fine, but they ratchet. But then you meet people who like they kind of like demand that respect in a way that they think is different than
Right.
others. So it's kind of like it tones you down to be like, first of all, I can't do this person like that because they don't
Right.
even, you know what I'm
So
saying?
they're holding themselves
Like
at a
they're
higher
holding themselves at a standard. So it's like
Hold on.
you would feel stupid doing, you know what I'm saying? You would feel, it just feels stupid. So it's like I treat you how you treat yourself. If I do that to you, then you probably
allow yourself?
not allow yourself because that's stupid. It's just,
I hate when people say that.
Nah.
A nigga will only do with you what he allow.
Because a nigga gonna do what he want to do.
Regardless,
Yeah.
exactly.
A nigga gonna do what he
You
want to
allow
do.
me to
But
do
I've
it.
had girls where it's like I've dealt with and we weren't in a serious relationship. Scoot back, Philly.
I know, we can't see.
I'm trying to look her in the eye.
Effective communication. Yeah.
So I've had girls who were like ratchet and they just like I did them however I wanted to do them.
Okay, so question. You like ratchet girls?
I liked past tense. I'm over it.
Oh, okay.
It's above me.
I was gonna say, do you see yourself marrying a ratchet girl?
No, I see myself marrying somebody who got like depth, somebody who got the same type of vision that I have, the same type of like we literally the same person. You know what I'm saying? Same person. Just you're the woman version of me.
Like equally yoked.
Yeah, not even equally yoked because you can have nothing. You just make me happy, and you hold yourself on because you can have nothing and still have a presence that demands respect. Where I'm like, okay, I can't because I just know you gonna leave. If the one fuck up, well, I know you out of here, and I can't fathom the thought of you leaving me.
So are men intimidated by those type of women?
I'm not intimidated by those women. You just don't find those type of women often. Most women aren't. They don't
Those are the women that you marry, right?
Yeah, those are the women that you marry. That's what I'm saying. You find those are the women. That's when a man they kind of like force you to think about the shit that you do because it's like you'll think about the shit that you do before you do it. Most women don't offer that thought for me. Like they don't make me feel like, damn, I gotta think about what I'm gonna do before I do it. But then you meet the people who like, you know what? I'm gonna chill today. I don't care about talking to everybody else. So it's just those are the girls you marry or because first of all, I'm selfish. I don't want you with nobody else. So I feel stupid when you pass up on something that's good and you the nigga who like, I'm the nigga who you talking about to your new nigga like.
Right.
And he like, thank you, nigga. You the nigga who fucked up. So me having that in my head will fuck me up still. Cause I be thinking about that. You doing that shit, I taught you with that nigga.
Right.
And it's a good nigga out there that's probably better than mine. Those type of women demand respect. I'm not intimidated by those women. You just rarely find those good quality women who just.
Which is crazy to me because I'm surrounded by those type of women.
See, but you're probably one of those type of women.
I mean,
So if you're one of those type of women, then you surround yourself with those type of women. The women who are ratchets, they gonna surround themselves with the other ratchets. So it's like, and if I go looking in the crevices,
You might find that.
you know what I mean? You might find the diamond in the rough, but most of the time,
You're gonna find another ratchet.
you gonna find the ratchets.
Yeah.
And if y'all were common,
Oh, my bad.
like if y'all were common, a lot of more of y'all would be married. That's why the diamonds make y'all gonna stand out if all of y'all was diamonds.
Because I think right now, one of the stats, 1 in 4 4 black women will get married, which is crazy to me because I'm like, all right.
82% divorce rate.
Well, we're not getting to that point yet.
So-
Yeah, we're being hopeful. Remember, we're being hopeful.
But I'm
for
saying
the
it's like you
I'm not
jump in and
divorced
jump out.
You know how black time is.
Well, I'm saying it's like right now,
You
black
not
people
leaving,
ain't
you not
playing double dutch. They jump in and jump out.
Oh, me, I put a ring on your
You
finger.
know what I'm saying? So I don't even use those women that get married or be that 1 in 4 person because it doesn't even matter because marriage doesn't even hit 5 years. You know what I'm saying? So you can't even use that statistic no more because marriages don't last no more. And they don't last for a lot of reasons that we're talking.
That's what scares me about getting married. Like divorce.
That's my biggest fear about
Like
it.
I don't want a divorce.
Right.
Like I said, it will
I'm
be a
married.
lifetime.
And it's crazy. I know a lot of men like that. And they be like, man, I hate marriage. I personally love being married. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
It's like,
already genius.
but it's like it always is a fit your situation because my wife, my homie, like I'm baby, we'll go to strip club, man, let's go.
But
You know what I'm saying?
It's rare though.
It's very rare.
But
then
I think because we settle.
Well, exactly, and if people gotta understand there's pros and cons when it comes to a lot of shit. There's a lot of more pros than the cons. If we choose to let that one con overpower the pros, you can have 50 million amazing things that happen, but you'll let one thing fuck you up and be like, oh, and then with Instagram and social media right now, we're so quick to be like, I don't care. I got attention.
My
from a
DM
nigga that's-
full right now.
I got attention from a nigga that's been hitting me up, and I'm not paying him no attention, but I know he's on me.
Mm-hmm.
But oh my man, this pissed me off. Cool, let me go over here and just see what he's talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So we do that shit. It's kind of bullshit. It's fucked up in the like type of generation we live in now. Because it's so easy to have access to it. Nigga, we be hitting females up from other countries
Right.
that will send it. You know what I'm saying? And make us feel
Right.
with our women.
We don't give our all.
We don't give all exactly. We
Because it's like if you're dating someone, but you're like, man, I'm gonna keep my options open.
Hell yeah.
Well, you can
You
never
already
know
in
what
your
that
mind
person gonna
that-
give you if you already creeping over here.
Nah, see, that's what I'm saying. Where in serious relationship, I swear to God, I'm the nigga who's like, I'm all for you.
I will say that.
And I'm literally all about you all over my social media. I got a problem with trying to build people to be as like popular. Like, no, I want you to go with me. I want you to be everywhere that I'm. Like, I want you to. I don't want you to be behind me. I want you to stand beside me. So
Right.
they see
The
both of us.
reflection, but
Yeah.
this is
That's
rare.
sexy.
Just like the
That's very
respectable woman is
Yeah.
rare. Y'all's
But you
mentality
know
when it
what-
comes to
you know what-
relationships is rare.
But you know what's crazy? And I know I'm speaking maybe biased, but from especially being a barber, like cutting so many different people here and this and so many relationships, I see so many dudes in this generation that are thinking that way. And the women are thinking how we used to think.
Exactly.
It's
How we
reversed.
used to go back to
It's
social media.
complete reverse. It's
Yeah.
flipped.
The females is niggas
Everything is
now.
flipped.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's flipped. And
We want the love, we want the companionship that a woman used to want, but now it's like they're like, oh, I'm independent.
And then we fuck a city girl
It's not the
and
same.
get attached.
right.
That's why Toxic Boy is up 1,000.
How much?
1,000.
Just 1,000 though.
You got a question, my
My
dude?
little boat at
Yeah.
1,000.
For the lady with the green shoes.
Do you consider yourself independent?
It's a question for me, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Do you consider yourself independent? An independent woman?
Yeah, I mean, I consider myself an independent
So
woman.
when you're looking for a man, do you want a leader or a father?
No, I want a leader though.
You're not intimidated by that?
No,
So you
like,
being submit, you can be
So
submissive.
that's like you being independent, that's two strong vibes.
so I'm an independent woman, meaning like solely on my own by myself. Like I don't
Like, you take care of yourself, so
necessarily
you don't
need
need
a
no
nigga
man.
for X, Y, and Z.
Right.
However, in a relationship, like I know how to be submissive to someone who's deserving of that. Not everyone is deserving for me to be submissive to. But how she has a list, I don't really have like a long ass list, but one of those characteristics is I want a man who's a leader. Like I know how to step back and be submissive to my man when he can be assertive and take that role. But like I said, not everybody is deserving of that. So you're not about to just walk all over me and I'm not going to be submissive to a man who isn't deserving of it.
Right, that to me that's a great answer.
Answer on God.
Because me and my wife had those conversations a lot because we believe that some of the couples that surround us are like, well, I can't be submissive to a man. I'm like, well, I believe any woman will be submissive to a man. They just not gonna be submissive to any
Man,
man.
All
yeah.
men, right.
They got, and then I think some men got quit being bitches. Like seriously, yeah, you know, it's not to disrespect to women. I'm not talking about bitches, but it's like we come into a relationship where we're trying to like overly please a woman instead of setting standards in the beginning. Because if you have those standards and you have have those things that you want to
You gotta set a boundary.
You have to set those boundaries in the beginning. Just like raising a child, you can't whoop his ass at 17 because he fucked up if you never touched him for 10 years. He's not gonna respond to that. So it's like you can't wait till the woman rain all over you, and then you want to say, I'm gonna put my foot down. You know what I'm saying? So then we gotta come in the beginning and put that foot down and set the standard. And I think that woman will follow if we lead. But we gotta learn how to also lead. So I mean,
And
that's
some men
why I
also
think
take advantage of that. You know, I think like
Oh,
there's a lot of
for
men that take advantage of a woman who can be submissive, and that's why I make that statement. Like, it's deserving to the person who can be awarded that.
Right.
Because some niggas will look at a female that's submissive and just walk all over her and just be drag her through the mud. So that's out. So in that sense, that's out.
That's where that woman, and we talked about it before, has those, when you see the signs, you gotta go ahead and use that to your advantage. Like if you see that red flag, then believe that red flag. Because a lot of women try to change that red flag. The men, they see the red flag, they never cared about more than what that night was. If you that first night you met a chick and you like she crazy, well, I'm gonna fuck tonight, but I ain't gonna fuck with her after this. See, we don't care about the red flag because we don't look to change it. Most women look to change that red flag.
Yes, because I feel like a lot of women also are looking for the potential in a man, and
to a certain degree.
To a certain degree, but it's like that's not the person that you're dating. The person that you're dating is who they are right then and there. And I think sometimes like it can benefit you on one end, but it also can hurt you because it's like I'm looking for the potential in him, and it's like baby.
It gotta be to a certain extent. That potential gonna get you potentially single real quick, but
it's like my bad. It's more like potential. Y'all look for potential in characteristics. We don't. We look for potential in like you could. We don't. We make sure that you have those characteristics that we like, and then we build you from there. Versus if you, well, no, we look for the characteristics. They have to be there, but you can be broke and you can have like these other like financially and everything else.
Right. But
we'll build off that as long as you have the characteristics. Versus it being women being like, I'm gonna change the man.
Right. You know what's actually cool about this conversation, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up, is that look what happened when we just started off talking about music. We built into relationships, we jumped to entrepreneurship, but because that's what's spoken about in y'all music. So it's just not, y'all just not up here just writing for the hell of it because you think it's cool. That's something that y'all feel because look how in-depth the conversation got. Everything we talked about is in each one of y'all's music.
So what I need is for y'all three to write a song of how the single woman can get a good quality man.
Get your ass out of here.
I'm just saying, because honestly, there are a lot of single women that are great out there. But because there are so many women who have less qualities or less standards, us good women are not.
There's a lot of niggas.
But I have a question for you. Okay, so I don't know how old you are. I'm not gonna ask you, but I feel like the list that you have, and I don't know what's on the list, and you know, I'm not. Okay.
Oh, it got read at one of the podcasts.
That's crazy.
So it's like as you get older and as you start to make these different transitions in your life, and you look at this list that you have, and you realize, damn, now I'm 70 and alone, or I'm 50 and alone, or I'm still single. It's like not to say to lower your expectations, but do you start kind of like tapering down on the list because those things might not be as significant, as important as they were to you a few years ago? Because ultimately, like you want to be with someone, right? You don't want to be 70 and alone. But it's like, are you going to be 70 and alone because you got this long ass list and a nigga wasn't able to fulfill everything off the list?
So the thing about my list is kind of guidance. Like it's not the end all tell all. So there are things on there, and most of them are qualities that I want to learn. And one time the list was read back to me, a lot of those qualities are things that I see in myself or want for myself as well. Which that could be a whole psychological thing also. But, I mean, do I think I might die single? Sometimes, because that's the reality of it these days. Because I refuse to settle in a sense of someone who doesn't treat me good, someone who lies, like in those type of things. And
everybody lies.
But
yeah, I mean, I was referring to more on the light eyes.
No, it was
Kind
eye.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you like this. It went so far in depth with the kind eyes. Did she not go and send us on a group message? The kind she finally popped up on a movie. Yo, that shit was scripted.
It was still there because y'all didn't understand the concept of kind eyes.
But the kind eyes ain't ever gonna keep you in or out of a relationship.
What I'm saying is my list is not a you better check every single one of these things or I'm not gonna date you. My list is
General.
She got a question.
What's going on, sis?
My
It
bad.
may not,
I'm sorry.
it may not be for you to have them to check everything in there, but because you wrote it down, subconsciously, you're going to, how to say, the mind doesn't know what the subconscious mind does. So the simple fact that you have them written down, you may not be like, okay, they have to check all these boxes, but subconsciously, you are wanting them to check all these boxes.
sure.
Which ends up leading you to passing the man.
Yes and no. I mean, I can honestly say I've had my list.
Too damn long.
I mean, I've had it for a while. And the people that I have talked to within the time that I've had my list, I have settled and said, okay, we're not gonna worry about the list right now. Let's try this, see what happens. It's been terrible.
Yeah, but
You
there was
ignored the
red.
red
You
flags.
ignored the red flags.
Well, yes and no, because, it's okay. Once again, I'm super understanding. So I can probably justify almost anything if I really try to. But it's,
the great
I know, hold on. I don't know if I want to know
You
this.
finna get you.
I know.
Get ready to throw that.
Okay, go ahead, go ahead.
That's a great question.
All right, so your list, right? Like 25 things.
Mhm.
So you come across a man and he don't have none of them things on that list, but he make you feel good. How do you say that?
I mean, I have things on there like a godly man, someone who can lead, someone
You
who
can have
has,
none of that.
But he found a way to make you happy. But he found a way to make you happy.
my
But
puppy
he
can make
made
me
you
happy.
feel good. Like,
Damn.
My puppy can make me
You
happy.
got a puppy?
Yeah. But I mean,
that's
No.
not going to even make you reconsider.
that's hard.
Except the
Cause you got a height with them. You got
You
to get
have to
certain
be a certain height. What?
What?
I mean, not like a little person.
I
like,
am.
What
So
height?
I'm
I love
5'7".
niggas though, so I don't
Little person.
I'm 5'7".
I mean, I was waiting for you to say something.
I'm
else.
Be a midget. Wow.
I'm not playing with you.
You say you got what's the type? What is
I mean,
that?
I'm 6'2", somewhere in
You
there.
6'2"?
You're
No, I'm 5'7".
So he gotta be 6'2".
But
We
she's
gotta be
tall.
Shaquille O'Neal.
I said at least taller.
So I'm like, if that nigga 5'7" to meet your height, but he
look
everything
eye to
in the
eye.
box
What
is
I'm
not-
saying is, my list is not a you better be 6'2". Like, it is not that type of list. It's a preferably. Like, that height.
Not a deal
for me.
breaker.
Right, it's not
Okay.
most of these are not deal breakers.
Okay.
That would be nice. That would be nice. Yeah, it's a perfect.
I call it
And
a relevant list here. If they're not deal breakers, why I got 25 of them?
Okay, okay.
But when you
I
got
feel,
this list,
uh-huh.
you looking at these people right here, and this dude right here that's, not that, but the perfect man, and you don't even look his way.
But not necessarily. And like I said, I took my list to the side and tried dating different types of men. It hasn't worked.
Doesn't even make you feel good.
I mean, temporarily. But once you really get to know them and they don't
But
have
do you
all
put
these-
That's the whole difference. Not saying there's a difference from a good vibe and a good energy, and just somebody that knows all the right things to say
Right.
and do. Has anybody ever just gave you that good energy, no matter what they look like, sound like, act like?
in the past 3-4 years since I've been single, not really.
Let me save her real quick.
Tough, sis.
No. Let me save her real quick. Only because it's like her list is not far from a man. How we have a list for women that for the ones that we want to marry and the ones that we actually want to take serious. We have a list for those women. We just didn't write it down, but in our head it's like she doesn't have this quality that makes me think she's a hoe. She doesn't have this. The shit that your mama tell you that you need to go, that type of girl you're gonna get. We just probably don't judge as harsh as she does.
We
But
just
we
don't
still,
write it down.
we don't write it, but we
Stuff
still,
and
it's still a
have
list.
it.
It's still a list. We
Like I
still
said,
have it.
everyone has some type of list.
It's like a preference of like,
I say most men got deal breakers more than lists.
Oh,
We
God.
got-
It's still a list.
We got
It's a
certain
list
things
of
that where we just like,
it's a list overall still.
yeah, like I don't like ugly feet. I don't get.
Oh God, I swear to God, I swear to
can't
God.
do it.
I swear to God.
That's a good one.
I can't do it.
Yeah.
And so
You can be,
you can be bad.
Bad as hell.
well, I don't know. I get down, I'll be like, ooh, yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah, I know. I can't do it.
So that's something on your list.
But no, that's a deal breaker.
But it's a list
Like,
of deal breakers.
but it's like you're out of here. Like
I don't have a
your list is like a preference. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I
Okay,
never
so
had a
flip
list.
the
Mine was more
Instead of
like
it being they can't have ugly feet, say they need to have decent feet. It's the same thing, just in a more positive
Well-grown.
form. Huh?
No.
Women have to be well grown, period.
yeah.
No, they can't get you ugly
damn.
No, like some women feet can get their feet done all the time. They got ugly feet. You just got ugly feet.
Right.
Like I'm not about like if you can keep them up, I can go pay you to get your nails done. But if you got ugly feet, no, can't do it. That's just my
Genetically,
deal.
you're ugly.
Yeah.
Like,
Ugly feet.
I just can't do it. Like he used to send me pictures of feet just to piss me
I
off.
used to call you.
Yeah, he used to call me
You gotta have the
sucking
right
toes. Like,
What on me? I was
yeah, and I about threw the fuck up. Like, I can't do it. I can't do it. But anyway, man, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and I really appreciate all y'all coming out, like for real. It's been fun, and thank you for allowing us to use your home to do this as well, and thank you for coming on and being so open, because I wasn't saying you were, not at all. You know what I'm saying?
Say something, we was coming to talk about music. I ain't even.
okay, but it's cool. Like I.
And we did talk about music.
And like I said before, the dope thing about it is because y'all put y'all heart and soul into y'all music, and it's what y'all feel because y'all literally have genuine conversations about it. You know what I'm saying? All you guys are super talented. I know we're gonna see y'all somewhere bigger real soon. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, when they come out with my song, of
Oh,
How to Find
yeah,
a
there you
Man.
go. But
Write you a book.
Hey,
Steve Harvey.
give me the audible.
and I'm about dope music. You know what I'm saying? Pete, I'm a lyricist, dude. I love lyrics. You know, his songs, he got dope songs. He got great songs. He don't put up like the hardest lyrics into it until he has to. He puts great music. You go straight to the lyrics on most of your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Ahmad, your voice is automatically industry ready, bro.
Yeah, your
Off
voice is
top.
sick. I love your music.
You industry ready. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's so much talent around here, from songwriting to picking out songs to lyrics to vocals, and you being an entrepreneur, doing it by yourself, growing your own business. So I love the fact that you can see our people grow in so many different ways, in so many different aspects, and we sit here and have disagreements, but we don't hate each other. There's no conflict. We're gonna get up, have a drink, and go on. And I think these are the things that need to happen in our community more, period. Just having like open dialogue, you know what I'm saying? And so I really appreciate y'all coming on, and we're gonna do this again definitely when we come back. And it's gonna be on a bigger scale, because y'all gonna be on a bigger scale. Hopefully I'll be on a bigger scale as well. You know what I'm saying? So once again, I appreciate y'all coming out. You got any closing words?
Hey, love y'all.
Love y'all too, man. I'll be down. We out.